And there we go. Hello, everybody. It's Chris Johnstone, and welcome to this month's edition of our sponsored webinar with First National Financial. It's fantastic to have you here, and I'm really excited about this month's content because we are going to show you how to get even better response from your website. We're going to be covering the top 10 things that you can do in order to get a better response from your website. I think you're going to absolutely love it. And then I've actually added in a couple of extra bonus tips for you at the end of the content. I think you're really going to like it. So we're going to hop right into it because we've only got a half hour for the content, and then we'll hop back on camera here and go through the Q&A. I just want to make sure that we don't have any technical issues going on. So if you could let me know in the Q&A panel that you can obviously see me on the webinar and that you can hear my voice okay. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transition over to our slide deck so that you can see the slide deck, and just give me a yes or an okay that you can see that, and then we'll hop right into the content. And then again, after the 30 minutes of content, we'll be back here for the Q&A. So we are going to do our full screen here. So you now should be able to see the presentation. So if I could get you to do me a favor and go ahead and just type yes into the chat box to let me know that you can see my screen. You'll see the wonderful First National logo there, and you will also be able to see our logo at cwjstone.com, and you should be able to hear my voice. So now there may be a little bit of a lag on our Q&A portion here. But based on the fact that we are not getting any feedback, I'm going to assume that you can't hear me and that we've got a little bit of an issue with the audio. So we are going to try that and see if that makes it so that you can hear my voice. So if you can see the screen and hear my voice, just type yes into the chat panel. And if you cannot, just go ahead and type no into the chat panel there, and let me know what you're seeing on your end. And again, I apologize for any of the technical difficulties here. This would be a first with having audio issues at the beginning of the webinar. And this is our 36th monthly webinar event. Okay. And just give me 1 second here. So we're going to switch over the microphone. And again, I apologize for the delay. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to restart our screen share here, okay? So here we go. There we go. Okay, so we're back live. And now we have a wonderful audio tab, which looks fantastic. Thank you so much. And now we're going to head back into the screen share for you. And we are going to share the entire screen. And we're going to take you over to the PowerPoint and full size the screen. Okay, so now if you can hear the audio and you can see the screen, just go ahead and let me know, and we will get right into the content. Okay, so I'm still getting a couple of messages here that says can't access the webinar and not hearing any content. Okay, so let's take a quick second here. And for those of you, if you're on here and you are hearing me and you are seeing the screen and everything looks okay, I apologize. For watching us figure this out, but I want to make sure that everybody does get into the event. And here we are. And we also have Greg saying that the link says that the live event has ended. Okay, so give me just a second here, and you guys get to watch me work in real time here to see if we can get this fixed up. So we are going to head on over. Wonderful control panel. And we are live. And we're going to take that link right there. Boy, this could be a live webinar on how to fix a live webinar, if possible. Okay, so there we go. Hello, Ray. Thank you very much for your feedback. So we should now see me fixing the webinar, and you should be able to hear my voice as well. So if that has popped up on your live webinar screen, if you could let me know that you can hear my voice and that you can see the screen, that would be greatly appreciated. We know that we don't have any more technical issues. It looks like Google changed our link when we went live, which is a little bit odd. So hello, Cheryl, and hello, Carl. Yes, see and hear. Hey, Jim. Hey, great to see you on the event. From Brad, we are good to go. Colleen, you can see me. We're good. Okay, so we got our technical issues all fixed up, and we are all good. Tim, thank you very much. Okay, we're 7 minutes behind, folks. I apologize, but I'm really glad that we were able to fix those technical issues. And now we're going to hop back over to the screen share and get into this month's content, which is all about getting you better results from your website. I'm going to be giving you my top 10 tips for getting more conversion on your website. So we are going to hop over to the screen share, and then we'll be popping back into our on camera portion after the content. So hopping right in, and obviously, as we're going through the content, if you have any questions, just type those into the Q&A panel, and I will get all of your questions answered at the end of the content. And if you could also, just a couple of you pop in and say, yes, I can see the screen, and let me know that you can see the slides now rather than the live broadcast of my face, because the last thing I would want is for you to have to watch me talk through all the content. I want to make sure that you can see the slides as well, because I've got some great content for you. So while we're waiting for that feedback to come back through, specifically every month, you get one webinar designed to help you grow your business. And we focus on one strategy and one thing that you can use to get results. And this month, it's all about converting more of your traffic that you're driving through the strategies that we've covered in our last two webinars into more leads and deals. And then obviously at the end, support and live Q&A to get you through everything that we've covered. And Monica and Darren and Steve and Alan, yes, perfect slides, good, awesome. There's absolutely no charge for this training. Everything is sponsored by the fine folks at First National Financial, and they bring you this information because they want to see you grow and thrive in your business. And I'm just so thankful and happy to be part of that initiative. So make sure that you connect with your account manager after the event, talk about the strategies and just any potential deals that you've got that work well together. So at this point, I'm going to get you to follow that red arrow, go down into the bottom right-hand corner and select the square. That's going to full size this presentation so that you get as much value as possible from this month's event. And again, we're going to get into this. We may go a little bit over our half hour with the content due to our technical issues, but I think you're absolutely going to love the content that I've got for you here this month. So this is the top 10 things your mortgage website needs to convert more traffic. And here is why. This is all about conversion. So in this webinar, we're not going to focus on getting you more traffic or getting you more rankings or running Facebook ads or doing any of those things. What we are going to focus on solely is what happens to that traffic once they click your link, once they get to your website. What happens and how to get more of those people to connect with you so that you can get them to an appointment, so that you can convert them into a customer. And this is really important because the average mortgage website converts less than 5% of traffic to leads. I get to see hundreds of websites in the mortgage space and look at, well, normally I have to set up the analytics so that I can then look at it. But once we set up Google Analytics, we're able to see that the actual conversion ratio is less than 5%. Small bump, you can see a large impact. So not even implementing all of these strategies, by implementing potentially just 1 or 2 or 3, if you can make just a small move on the needle on your conversion of the number of people that land on your website that actually reach out and connect with you, you can make a significant impact in the number of leads that you talk to. So the first screenshot that I showed you was a website that was converting at just under 2%. Now this website is converting at roughly 11. So if you look at the difference in those numbers, conversion matters, because on site number 1, if you look at the monthly analytics, in 30 days, we had 938 visitors to the first website. The conversion rate was 1.58%, and that means that that website converted 21 leads in a month. If you take site number 2, they're getting far less traffic, not even, 199 individual visitors to the site. But because on that particular site, there were some conversion pieces in play, which we're going to talk about during the webinar, conversion, that website was converting 11% of the traffic into leads. So even though they only had 199 visitors to the website, they ended up with 33 leads in the business over a 30-day period. So it's not just about traffic. It is about traffic and conversion. And again, in this web series, we've gone through all manner of traffic driving strategies for your website, generating phone calls and generating traffic. Now we're going to make sure that you're converting as much of that traffic as possible into actual deals, right? So that's what this is all about. And again, implementing just 1 or 2 of these strategies that really resonate with you here today can make that significant bump. Even if you can go from a 2% conversion ratio on your website to a 4% conversion ratio on your website, that means you can technically double the amount of leads that you're getting from your website with just a 2% bump in response in the number of people that are filling out your forms. This stuff really can make an impact. So the first thing that you need on your local mortgage website to action. The majority of sites that I get to see in the mortgage space have a great statement of services, essentially, on the homepage of the website. So potentially that you are a mortgage broker, or you are a mortgage agent, or the specific types of loans that you offer, and that tends to be highlighted at the top of the page. And what we're expecting people to do is to land on the website and identify with who you are and what it is that you offer. But what we've discovered over the years of attending countless trainings and implementing our own tests in our own on our own websites and on our client websites, we've discovered that you have to tell people exactly what to do when they get to your website. Most often, people want immediate answers to their questions, and you have to steer them in the right direction. So on the screen here, you can see I'm using my website as an example of using a call to action on the homepage to direct people further into the site, to bring them into the experience of being on the site. So we tell them right up front, choose your marketing strategy, whether you want social media, search engines, or paid traffic. And they get to kind of choose their own adventure as to where they go on the website through that very basic call to action on the homepage. Now, specifically in your mortgage business, you could structure the homepage of your website to say, are you looking to purchase? Are you looking to refinance? Are you a first-time home buyer, right? Give them the option that fits what it is that they're looking for so that they can find the information that they're looking for very quickly, right? And tell them exactly what to do. And we've run tests where our call to action on the homepage of the website is simply call me to get answers to your questions about mortgages and current rates. And something as simple as that can boost a response. The main point is that you have to tell them what to do, and that should be upfront and one of the first things that they see on your website. Now, some examples of ways you can do this. A direct call to get answers to their questions, because let's face it, over 50% of your traffic is going to be mobile, which we'll talk about here in just a second. So you want to make sure that you give people a fast option to be able to get answers to the questions that they're looking for. Or if they're just looking to speak to you and they're using your website to find your contact information, you've got to make sure that they have the ability to contact you right away. Free report, like a current market analysis of what's happening in your local marketplace, what's happening in the mortgage market, what's happening in the housing market right now, and just offering to keep people up to date or to educate them on the purchase process. You can also offer a current rate sheet or calculators that you have on your website, or you can use the First National calculators as well to help build that reciprocity with your client. Or you can be product specific and give away information on specific products like purchases or refinances or things that first-time home buyers need to do in order to get their mortgage. So sit down and really think about who it is that you want to convert from your website, what would be the most valuable information that that person is looking for on your website, and just make sure that that's featured on the homepage of your site with a direct call to action in order to get those people to request that information. Now, the number two thing that you absolutely should have on your website is a mobile responsive version of your website. Again, over 50% of your traffic in today's marketplace is going to be mobile. You have to give them an easy to understand and an easy to flip through format on your mortgage website so that they can still find the information that they're looking for. And if you want to find out whether or not your website is mobile friendly or mobile responsive, you can go to the link that I've got up on the page here, or you can just go to Google and type in mobile friendly tool. And that will take you to this website here, which is search.google.com/search-console/mobile-friendly. And punch your website in there, and it will tell you whether or not your website is mobile friendly and whether or not people are going to have a good experience on your site. That's very important for conversion in today's world. Now, the third thing that you should have on your website is an About Us page with a description of who you are, how long you've been in the business, why you chose to be in the mortgage business, and who it is that you help. So if you're running a brokerage, you want to have a page like our Connection Inc. page where you highlight the different staff members that you have, where people can go down, see the different bios of the different people that you have on your team. And then at the bottom there, you always want to make sure that the About Us page on your website has a contact form, because it is the second most trafficked web page that we see across all of the websites that we track. So people go to the homepage, look for the information that they're looking for on the homepage, and then they click the About Us tab or the About Me tab in order to get more information about the person whose website it is. So if you have a call to action on the homepage and you have some form of conversion on the About Us page, you're going to make sure that you're capturing leads off both of the main sources of traffic that are on your website. So an About Us page with a contact form, very important to have on your website. Number 4 is a frequently asked questions page. And there's a number of different reasons why this is beneficial for you to have on your website. The first is it converts people that are still not motivated enough to pick up the phone and call you. They might be a little bit nervous about talking to somebody on the phone or feeling like there's some type of weird high pressure sales on the end of the phone. Remember, people are a little bit skeptical. They don't know you yet, right? They don't know how awesome you are. You've got to kind of build up to that and get them confident enough to pick up the phone and know that they're not going to end up in some type of weird sales process, right? Your frequently asked questions page will allow them to educate themselves on the specific questions that they have about mortgages or about your products and services, so that they feel empowered through information when they do speak to you on the phone. This is also a fantastic reciprocity tool for you, because you are using your website as a sales tool. You're giving them free information. You're showing them that you have value to give them through the mortgage process, not just rates, but actual education on helping them become a better informed buyer. Now, the other thing that you should be doing with your frequently asked questions page is overcoming objections. Things like, are there fees for your services? How are they protected? What are the different fees that they can expect to pay? And all of the different questions that you get over and over again from clients when they come into your office, just take the time to distill out what those most frequently asked questions are, put them on your website, and when you get people on the phone, you'll find that they're a little bit warmer. They're a little bit further along the buying process because they've been able to educate themselves on your website. Now, not a whole lot of your traffic is going to go to the FAQ page and read it, but the people that do will convert at a higher rate because you have this as a resource on your page, and many other people in your marketplace will not, right? So some ideas for some great frequently asked questions is to put out just your general mortgage questions, questions about rates, how they're calculated, what people need to look for, and then offering a calculator as far as how to use it, what the different calculators are, what they are calculating. And remember, we work in the mortgage business every day. So to us, this stuff is old news. It's very simple. But to somebody who doesn't deal in mortgages, who may not be strong in math, you really do need to spell out and explain to people what these tools are and why they're valuable. The second is documentation. Educate them on what documentation they're going to need when they show up at their first appointment, when they show up at their second appointment. Take them through the what are you going to need, when are you going to need it, and why do you need that documentation throughout the process. And you can use this to, again, redirect the new leads that you have and the people that are coming into your business to the FAQ page so that they provide a better experience for you while you're guiding them through the process because they show up at the appointment with the proper documentation. You don't have to chase them as much. It just makes it better for everybody in the transaction. What we really want to be educated on is the process that they're going to be put through as they're getting their mortgage. They don't want to just leap into this black hole and have blind faith as to, okay, closing day is going to come and we're going to get our home or we're going to get our refinance or whatever it is. You need to logically, step by step, lay out the average process that a borrower is going to go through so that they can very clearly see, okay, I'm going to call this mortgage professional from their website. Here is the process that they are going to guide me through, and at the end, I'm going to be successful with my transaction. And again, you walk them through the same steps. Here's what's going to happen. Here is when it is going to happen, and here's why we have to go through the process this way. And again, educate people through this process. And the final one is product specific. So answering the most frequently asked questions that you get all the time about mortgages for first-time home buyers, refinances, whatever it is that you are specifically looking to, the type of buyer that you're looking to connect with through your website, give them the information on the specific products that they're going to want to know about so that your conversion job is easier further down the line, right? The fifth thing that you should absolutely have on your website is testimonials from your past clients and customers. I like to feature at least 3 or 4 of these on the homepage of the website, and then have a specific testimonials page where people can scroll through the testimonials from all your past clients and customers. And we've done a couple of wonderful webinars here with First National on how to get raving ratings, reviews, and testimonials on your profile. You should definitely be taking those testimonials and making sure that they are featured on your website as well. Now, a quick thing to keep in mind, you do not want to copy and paste your Google reviews from your Google My Business page. Google has this terms of service thing that won't allow you to take your reviews from Google and put them on your website. Google wants those reviews just to show up on your Google My Business page. So use the testimonials that you have on Yelp and on, well, just the email testimonials that you get from your clients. Put those on your website and use that to build out this social proof tool. When people are far enough in the buying process that they've found you online or they've been referred to you, they go onto your website, they check out your team page or your About Me page, they're just about ready to go. Thing that will help give them the confidence to pick up the phone and call you and start the process of going through the transaction with you. So make sure that you've got your testimonials on there. The sixth thing that you want to display on your website is authority and safety. Okay. And again, as much as we're all used to using the internet on a daily basis, there is still skepticism out there as far as anybody can put up a website. Who is this person? Who do they do business with? So you should, in my opinion, post out the images of the reputable lenders that you do business with. I absolutely think that you should have a backlink that goes to First National Financial with the logo on there, showing them that they are one of the preferred lenders that you work with to get financing for your customers. When you can use the authority of that brand, you can build your authority in the local space by showing people that you're reputable and you have good working relationships with the lenders, right? Now, safety is a little bit different. This is you showing people that you care about their privacy. If they fill out a form, they're not going to get a whole bunch of marketing emails from you. You want to let them know that if they opt in, you take their privacy very seriously. So at the bottom, make sure that you have a privacy policy on your website. Make sure that if you're using an SSL certificate on your website, that you display that on the site. If you're a Better Business Bureau accredited business, make sure that that's listed on the site. Any accreditation that you have in the mortgage industry, you should be displaying that in the footer of your website to communicate authority and safety and make people feel comfortable working with you, right? And here, because we process payments online, we've got the authorized.net merchant logo, and we also have the Google partner logo now because we're a certified Google partner. So all of that builds towards authority and safety, and you should do the same on your website as well. Now, we've gone through the process of educating people, proving ourselves to people, building up our social authority, building up our social proof. We've got people that are ready to come into the office or pick up the phone and call you or fill out the web form. You got to tell people how to get there, right? So you absolutely want to have the directions on your website. Now, a lot of people have this stuffed into the footer in very, very small font at the very bottom of their website. It's my suggestion that you highlight it, get it as close to the top of your website as possible so that you show people where you're located, your business hours, and then it's also my recommendation that you embed a Google map that has your Google My Business listing right on the Google map. The reason why that's so important is because a mobile user can click on that map, click on your profile, and automatically get the GPS coordinates or get directions on Google Maps direct to your location right from your website, which is a fantastic tool for actually bringing people into the office. So make sure that your directions are up there and that they're highlighted. The number 8 thing that you need is social integration. Make sure the channels that you're active on, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever it is that you're active, make sure that you have links to your social profiles from your website so that you can continue to build your relationship with your new leads and with your new customers on your social channels. That's where you show people that you are an expert in your marketplace, that you know your content, that you know the business, and that you are an authority in the business. So give people that extra layer where they can research you, which again is going to help to convert them long term. And again, if we can use just a couple of these to get you a 1% or a 2% bump in your conversion, it can make a significant impact. But you don't know what impact you're having unless you are measuring the response that you are getting from your website. So you have to have Google Analytics installed on your website. This is a base level. I believe that everybody should have Google Analytics on their website. And this tool is just phenomenal because it allows you to track pretty much everything that happens on your website. So when I tell you that the second most trafficked page on a website is the About Us page, I know that because we watch the traffic on all of these different websites and watch where they flow to on the website. So that's all based in actual data. And if you don't know what's happening on your website, you're kind of shooting blind and driving more traffic into a site where you don't know where your conversion points are. That's very difficult to do. So in order to get Google Analytics, you just simply go to analytics.google.com. This is going to allow you to see your traffic rates, how many people are coming to your website, It's going to allow you to see traffic source. Where are these people located? Are you getting traffic from your city? Are you getting traffic from, all kinds of weird places? And you can use that to dial in your web marketing strategy and making sure that you're actually being effective. You can look at time on site so that you can see, hey, when I drive traffic to my website, I'm converting at 1% or I'm converting at 11%. And you know how valuable your website is and how much traffic you have to drive in order to get the number of leads that you want. And then finally, the other thing that it gives you is a user pathway where you can see, okay, people land on my homepage, then they go to my About Us page, then they go to the FAQ page, then they go to my testimonials page, and then they fill out the form. Or I'm just doing a really good job on my homepage and everybody's filling out the form. But if you don't know the pathway of where people are going, you're going to lose conversions, because at that point, you know where the different pages are in your website where you have the opportunity to convert more of those people. And then the 10th thing that you absolutely need to have on your website is Google Search Console. And this is a little helper tool that Google gives us that tells you essentially the health of your website, gives you best practices for how to optimize it, and it tells you essentially where your traffic is coming from. So when you have Search Console installed on your website, you can actually go to the menu on the left-hand side, click on Search Traffic, click on Search Analytics, and see what key phrases you're ranking for, how many impressions you're getting per month per keyword, and how much traffic you're getting from each of those key phrases. So as you implement different blog posts on your website, or if you're just interested in where your traffic is coming from, you're getting leads and you don't know where they're coming from, Search Console will tell you, and then you can do more of the activities to get even more of that traffic. So essentially, Google Analytics and Search Console is there to help you identify the low-hanging fruit in your web marketing strategy so that you can make educated decisions with your web marketing in order to get better results in a shorter period of time. Now, I did mention at the very beginning that I've got some bonus tips for you, and we are at the end of the time, so we will go a little bit quick because I want to make sure that I do get into the frequently asked questions to make sure that you get answers to all your questions. And with that, if you have any questions, type them into the Q&A panel, and I'm happy to answer them during our Q&A. And our first bonus tip is interstitials. You may have also heard these called pop-ups, and there's all kinds of different terminologies and ways that you can do this. You can have a pop-up that comes up at the top of the site or the bottom of the site, or just full screen, or just like the one that you see on the screen where somebody's on your website for 3 or 4 seconds and then you give them the offer for the free report or the free consultation or to get on your email newsletter, right? Those pop-ups, pretty much every time we see them implemented, will boost conversion response, because it gets you the ability to give an offer to somebody who's about to bounce off your website. So a good portion of mortgage traffic will make the decision as to whether or not they're going to stay on your website in less than 7 seconds. And a pop-up allows you to give one main offer quickly and easily to every single visitor that comes to your site, so you're not missing the opportunity of people bouncing off your website without ever actually giving them an offer. So a pop-up is a really great way to increase your response if you're okay with pop-ups. Everybody has a different viewpoint on what those do to the viewer experience or the user experience. So use them as you see fit in your business. But if you do decide to use them, Lead Pages has a tool called Lead Pops that will help you install that on your website. Or I use a tool called Opt-in Monster, and it sounds kind of corny, but it works really well, and it shows you, how many pop-ups you've served, how many people filled in the form, what your conversion rate is, and you can split test different offers. So you can run 3 or 4 different pop-ups, see which one has the best conversion, run with the winner. There's lots of great tools that it gives you from an analytics side so that you can make educated decisions as to what offers you want to show your traffic. Now, our second bonus tip that I've got for you is a live chat box. So what live chat allows people to do is to obviously chat with you live. So all of these applications have apps that you can install on your smartphone, and you'll get a notification just like a text message or a Facebook message when people are on your website. If they ask you a question, it'll pop right up on your cell phone and you can answer them. You can also set these tools to say, hey, we're not available right now, but leave us a question and we'll get back to you right away. And what it doubles as is an opt-in form but people aren't seeing it as a regular opt-in form on your website. They're seeing it as a chat that they're going to initiate later, right? And you can follow up with those people via email after they submit their message. So a couple of tools, or actually 4 tools that I personally use that work really well. The first is called Drift, and they have a great analytics platform on the back end to show you how many sessions are being initiated, how many chats are actually taking place, how long they go for, all those wonderful things. And you can also use that tool to, during different hours, filter the messages to different people. So if you're working with a team, you can have chat sessions going to different people during different times of the day, and then have it shut off at the end of the day so that people aren't on your website expecting a live chat experience. It'll pop up and say, hey, sorry, we're not at the office right now, but we'll get back to you first thing. Give us your name and your email. The other is Tidio. Again, another little bit of a weird word, but does the same basic thing. It's got a little bit more of a basic platform to it, but still works really well. And if you're interested in doing a little bit of integration work, you can use Google Chat. So this works inside Gmail, and you can install a Gmail chat box on your website and talk to people directly through Gmail chat right on your website. Now, there's no analytics that go into the back end of that. It just works. So if you're looking for analytics, Google Chat, probably not the best option. And then there's Twilio for advanced users. If you want to set your own up so that it has, autoresponders and all those wonderful things, it's definitely a more in-depth option. But if that's your, if that's what you're interested in, that is an option for you as well. So that brings us to the end of our 12 things that can help you boost your website conversion. And if you have any specific questions or you'd like specific help from myself or anybody on the team, we're offering a free website analysis and ranking plan. This is a 30-minute one-on-one session where we'll look at your website, identify the different things that you can change to help boost your conversion, and also do a little bit of a reverse market analysis for you to find out if there's opportunity in your marketplace to potentially rank on the front page, get more traffic, get more customers. We walk you through the whole thing online. It's actually a fun process where you get to see your market competition and what type of traffic rates are happening in the marketplace and what marketing needs to be done in order to get you in front of that traffic, and a friendly analysis of your website to help you identify the areas that may get you the best response. So if you want to claim that for free, that's a gift from First National Financial. We're happy to provide it on their behalf. And you can claim that by going to cwjstone.com/analysis. And again, there's absolutely no charge. And it's not a weird sales trick or anything like that. If you want to ask about our services at the end, you can, but it's definitely not a sales pitch. So you've got that as well. So going to hop into the Q&A. I apologize for being a couple of minutes over time, but we're basically right on 30 minutes for the content, barring the technical issues that we had at the beginning. So a big thank you to First National Financial for sponsoring today's event and hosting us all here together. And make sure that you reach out to your First National representative and let them know what you thought of the event. And with that, we are going to hop into the live Q&A portion. So any questions that you have, there we are. Go ahead and type those into the chat panel, and we'll get you answers to all of your questions. So I've got our little chat box here set up, and we are going to hop right in. Okay, so our first question is from Carl. So Carl says, as a call to action, what do you find works best in the mortgage industry? So Carl, I've actually found that different offers work differently in different marketplaces. So we can take the exact same offer, exact same copy, and put it on 2 similar websites and 2 completely different marketplaces and get 2 completely different responses. So each marketplace is going to be a little bit different just depending on where it is that you're located. I always test, right? Now, the things that you're going to want to test that tend to come out of the gate the most successful is obviously offering an updated rate sheet. So something along the lines of rates are changing really quick right now. Fill in your information. I'll send you your current rate analysis. Well, and opt in for tools like calculators, or if you're running any type of resource page on your website, you can give that away. Or if you have an app that you've developed, you can give that away. So those are different options. We also see free reports and video series still working exceptionally well. It's hard to highlight that on the homepage of your website because I truly do believe that the main thing that you should be going after is a phone call. the number one thing that you should drive off of your website is a phone call, because it's the highest quality lead. The likelihood of converting that into a closed transaction is much higher than getting somebody to fill out a web form. So the highlight at the very top is your phone number and your contact information right at the top, and then the call to action and the offer underneath that is something that essentially is going to give quite ready to pick up the phone and call you yet. It's going to give them that lower entry offer where they can give their name and their email and get something very valuable. So again, a free report on your market, or a video series on how to make sure that they don't get overcharged for their mortgage, or those sorts of things. Again, you're speaking to a marketplace that doesn't know mortgages as well as you do. So offer them the things that are, they'll seem very obvious to you, like a prepayment penalty, right? You can educate people on just that. Give that away as a free report, and that has incredible value. I've seen some people do something as great as offering an explanation of the home warranty program that is offered. So there's all kinds of different ways that you can modify that in your marketplace. Go with the one that feels right for you, and then test it. And those are some great options to start with. So that's a great question, and thank you for that. So this question is from Alan. So Alan says, how do you measure or define a conversion? Is it a full application or just a contact form being filled out? So that's a great question. And a conversion is anybody that has filled out a web form on the website. So it could be for a free report. It could be on the contact us that's in the footer. It could be on the contact us page, or it can be a full application. It is very, very rare that you'll get somebody that hasn't talked to you on the phone to go to your website and fill out a full application. I mean, that is, and the people that will do so are so far into internet land that they would give you the information that you need to run a credit application without ever actually talking to somebody on your website. A very, very small percentage of people will do that. And in my opinion, I personally feel it's unrealistic to expect a Facebook ad to drive somebody to a full mortgage application and have them fill it out, right? There's so many steps that need to be taken, ascension, to get that person to that point. They need education. They need to get to know you. It's a relationship, right? And you've got to start them at the beginning of the relationship phase. So I won't use a dating analogy because I don't know what that's, but you're going too far into the process right up front, right? So you've got to give them that low hanging fruit, that low offer first, like, hey, get some free information, or just give me a call and get on a free consultation point, and then work them up to, okay, great, I think I can help you. What I'm going to do is redirect you back to my website, and you can fill out the application form there. Don't worry, it's totally secure, and here's the information that I'm looking for. And then you walk them through that process, right? So a conversion is anybody that fills out any form on your website, and the majority of those conversions are going to be name, email, and phone number, filling out for some type of added information from you. A conversion on your website is also counted as a phone call, but Google Analytics cannot track the phone calls that come from your website. So you can track that independently by asking people how they found you, or you can use a call tracking number through a service like Twilio or Callfire, or one of those. The conversions that we were talking about here today are just web form conversions, not phone calls at all. Even though the tips will help you convert both and more of both, which is what we ultimately want for you, more high quality leads, right? So that is a great question. Our next question is from Keegan. Hi, Keegan, great to have you on the event. And Keegan says, how crucial to ranking organically on Google is it to have your website's sitemap set up on Google Webmaster? So yes, a sitemap is important. Yes, you need to have that in there. And if the error message that you're getting, you can simply go to Google and type in sitemap tool and pick one of the top 3 websites that are there. They all work great, and it will create for you what's called an XML file and it's a sitemap file. You just punch in your website address, hit go. It will it'll look at your website, generate that sitemap, and then allow you to download the file. And then you take the file that you've downloaded from that website, go to Webmaster Tools, and upload it to that sitemap directory. Or you can go to WordPress or wherever it is that your website is hosted, and then upload it to yourdomain.com/sitemap.xml and host that file there so that Google can find it. Very important to your website ranking. It's essentially, think of it just like you're building a brand new home, right? If you're going to go build a house somewhere, you've got to take the blueprint for the house, take it down to City Hall, register it with the architect and the city planner, and then they give you the old stamp, and then you can go and build your house. Sitemap is kind of similar. It's backwards because you build the house first, you build your website, and then you submit it to Google. But if Google doesn't have a map of what's on your website, it takes a long time, and it's very difficult for it to figure out what's there. And they have so many people feeding information into the engine so that they can get ranked. You getting ranked without taking that step is lower. So it's definitely a quality indicator. And I would definitely get that done. So great question, Keegan. And hopefully that helps. Our next question here is from Janet. So Janet says, how do I install an opt-in form on my website? Janet, that is a great question. So it depends on who you have your website with. So I'm going to assume potentially with your broker or potentially with a brand, right? And that you haven't built it from scratch. If you have built it from scratch, send me a comment, and I will and I'll respond to that. They have built the website for you. They're going to give you access to some form of portal that you get on the back end. So they give you a username and a password, you into the back end of your website. Now each one looks a little bit different, but what you're looking for is either pages or posts inside that general tool. And on there, it will give you access to the individual pages on your website. And then you go to those pages. That's where you install the opt-in form. Now, some tools will give you a contact form. So you go into the menu, and down the left-hand side, it'll say something like contact forms or opt-in forms. And you can build a contact form right in the tool and then just put it on the page that you want to put it on. Most often, you have to use a third-party service. And it's my recommendation that you go direct to whatever contact management system it is that you're using. So for example's sake, if you're using Infusionsoft or Constant Contact or Aweber or MailChimp, any of those work great. Or you may be using a specific mortgage CRM. Every single one of those tools has a form builder. And that form builder gives you the functionality to connect the form that people fill out to a list or an autoresponder inside that contact manager, okay? So you go to the contact management software, let's say Constant Contact for this example. You create a form inside Constant Contact. It will give you a little snippet of code. You take that code, you take it to your website, select the page that you want, and you embed the code on that page, and you click save. It's my recommendation that if you have a web developer that can help you out with that, if that was a little bit Greek, send it to your web developer and say, hey, I want a contact form on this page. Here's the information for my Constant Contact account. Here's my information, obviously, for my website. Make this work, right? Is a great option if you have somebody like that available for you. If you don't have that person, structure out a time block of a half hour to an hour. Get it done, because you only have to do it once, and once it's set up, it's an asset on your website, in your business, that's going to serve you long term. So it's definitely worth getting done, whether you do the work or whether you have somebody do it for you. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Is from Timothy. So Timothy says, once a lead is generated, what do you do to follow up long term? So that is an excellent question. So I don't want to get too far into conversion, but you should have at least one emails that are programmed specific to the type of information that that person has requested, because let's face it, real-time follow-up in our business, I know how busy you are, and you're not just sitting by the phone waiting for web forms so that you can call people back right away, right? There's going to be a little bit of lag between the time somebody fills out the form to the time that you contact them. The automated emails are your bridge to keep that person engaged with you while you're getting ready to do your phone follow-up, which should happen in the same day. So if somebody opts in on a refinance page, you should be sending them an offer for a consultation specific to refinance. If somebody opts in on a first-time homebuyer page on your website, you should be sending them an email sequence that is designed specifically for first-time homebuyers, right? So again, I'm not trying to make this too complicated, but when you're in your constant contact account, because this ties in perfectly with our question earlier, you create a web form specific to that type of person. That form, they go into a specific list inside your CRM, and that CRM has an automatic sequence of emails that go out after that person fills out their information, specific to the page that they were on when they filled out the web form. So those of you that are in the abundance program, you know all about how to sequence autoresponders to your people. So that's what we do. Now, the offer needs to be specific to the type of mortgage or the type of loan that they've requested information on. As far as a sequence of what to do, I follow up 4 days in a row right at the very beginning, because the lead over time will diminish with their responsiveness, right? So if you wait 5 days to send the next email, that lead is really cold. They most likely will not remember being on your website or the offer at all, right? They were a little bit interested in mortgage information, but not that interested in mortgage information. So what you need to do is drip 4 emails over 4 days and sequence in phone calls and potentially text messages in those first 4 days when you get that new lead into the process. Then you step back the communication to every other day. You like to do that for roughly another 7 to 8 days. After that, then we go to a weekly communication to finish out the month. So there's another 2 emails that are stacked on top of that. Then we put them into a monthly newsletter, essentially, that they get dripped on, as well as a little bit of phone follow-up. Now, again, I know how busy you are in the mortgage business. Most likely, you're not going to follow up on leads after they've been in their series for or your series for 30 days. I understand that, but what you should do is re-engage all of the leads that come into your system at the 90-day window and treat them like a brand new lead. So they've done a double opt-in on your website. They are, they know they're going to be receiving communication from you. They've signed up on their list. When you use any CRM, they have the ability to opt out, so you're all compliant, right? But at the end of 90 days, you should treat them as a new lead. Because what we've seen is that people in the buying sequence, they typically tend to start doing their research 90 days before they're actually going to make the purchase decision. So when you reach back out at 90 days, they're now ready. They're ready to go, and they're very motivated to get mortgage information. And here you are, after delivering great content up front through email, keeping in touch with them through the newsletter, and then re-engaging that sequence. We've seen excellent response by re-engaging leads that have been through the process and have been sitting there essentially for 90 days. So that's the best practice for follow-up based on what they ask for, and how to follow up over time to potentially get the most response from the leads that you are generating from your website and using the information. So our next question is, there's no name on it, but it says, how important is online listing accuracy as Yext works? The cost seems like there are hundreds of those sites that pop up to make you go change them and try and sell you Yext. Okay, so go back to last month's episode of this web series. So connect with your account manager from First National Financial and ask for access to the library. So there's a membership site that First National will give you access to for free if you are a member in good standing with First National. 36 of these webinars produced, and it's literally an entire training program on how to run digital marketing in your mortgage business at this point. It's phenomenal. Go to episode 35 and I teach you how to syndicate your mortgage business without using, and the reason why I'm a little bit averse to a system, and I'm not speaking specifically about that company in general, but companies that run on particular business models like that, if you stop paying them and all of your information reverts back to the way that it was before you started paying for the service, right? So it's kind of not really, right? You have to keep engaging in that. So my recommendation is that you use data aggregators. And it's roughly the exact same process, except I teach you how to do it in last month's webinar. So there are different sources where you can go to, you can submit your information, they will blast it out to all of the other search engine sites. So things like Canada Post, and there's another online, it's escaping me now because I don't have the slides in front of me, but there's another major data aggregator that we connect to inside our SEO services that'll help you distribute that information. So definitely take the time in last month's webinar and you'll get a much better process and system for laying that out in your business. So thank you very much for that question. It looks like our final question here is from Cynthia. So Cynthia says, how do I edit the page on my site? It is hosted by corporate. So inside the tool, you're going to use your username and password. You're going to log in. There'll probably be a menu bar on the left-hand side of the screen, which would technically be this side of the screen. And you're going to go on there and you're going to look for either pages or posts. Or some of the tools that we work with internally when we're doing our SEO services, they'll just have a list of all the content. And you can click on the content name, like the page name, and the content of the page will pull up in the main menu. So log in to that service and you can make those changes in real time on your website and then click save at the bottom. So make sure that you have the opt-in form that you want to install on that page, get the code from that, go into the web builder, and then use the web builder to install the form on the specific page itself, right? So hopefully that helps you out. And that is just perfect timing. Here we are at 3 minutes to the hour. So thank you again for being here, and thank you to First National for hosting this event. I hope that you've truly enjoyed the content, and I can't wait to host next month's event with you. Don't forget, we run one of these webinars for your referral partners. So tomorrow on Friday, you're going to be getting an email from me because you registered for this event with information to send to your referral partners to invite them to next week's event. And that's, again, a free service for you to build the relationships with your referral partners. And I highly recommend that you take advantage of that as well. So my name is Chris Johnstone. Thank you for being here. Much love from me and my family to you and yours. And I look forward to seeing you on the next event. Have a great day, everybody.